It's a Friday, I think. Yeah, it's Friday.
Yep.
Grass needs to be cut.
I, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a blade of grass in like 2 months. No, that's not true. There are parks here, but you know what I'm saying.
It's going to be warm today, although it's supposed to rain a lot this weekend. But hey, it's going to be 76 freedom units. So that's pretty.
Wow, that's the same as here.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
It is. It's yeah.
yeah. So this is kind of driving me insane.
Okay. Hopefully it's not something I did, but go
No,
on.
no. Office apps on Windows will soon launch faster.
Yeah. So
Yeah, this isn't new, is it? I could have sworn they've had this previously.
I saw this headline and I was like, I'm not even gonna touch this. I can already tell what this is gonna be. And then we did, Laurent wrote about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I still haven't looked at it, so I'm just gonna go. This is my guess. In the same way that like a browser like Edge, you can have it kind of run at startup or something. Is that what this is? Is this all it is? It's like a little
It's a
caching thing.
scheduled task called
Yeah.
Startup Boost that will
Startup
then
Boost.
run at startup. Now, here's some of the brilliance of this. So you can disable this. This is something you can turn off. But according to, I believe, the notes of their own feature announcement, every time there's an update, I think,
It changes it back. Yeah.
you got to turn it back off.
So, all right, but this is excuse me. So in other words, you've installed the desktop Office apps.
Mm-hmm.
It has quietly put some kind of a thing in startup that does this.
Yep.
It doesn't appear in Task Manager.
Correct.
So you actually have to know about this. This is a thing you can configure somehow. They probably have policy, reg files, something. I don't man, this is there's a best practices kind of thing for this type of thing, right? Like if you ever this is an exercise for the listener. Task Manager settings, however you want to do it, go in and look at what's starting up, because this is something like you actually have to keep going back to this.
Yeah.
Because these things just change, right? So yeah, like this this computer, I gotta remove Skype, but it has Skype. I think you would be surprised. Like if you haven't looked at this in a while, this is something good to look at. But that thing you're talking about should be one of those things. Like if like they do it correctly with Edge at least, right? So if you don't use Edge, one of the little tips is go in and stop that thing from starting up automatically. There's no reason. I don't know, man. This just reeks of stupidity, like unsophisticated stupidity.
Right. We found a way to increase performance. No, you didn't.
Yes, well, yeah. I mean, to increase the perceived startup performance,
Yeah.
like we're going to load everything but the UI before you run the app.
After you reboot it, which is already an intensive task, we're just gonna shove this right in there. You won't even notice.
It might be worth looking at this only to figure out if Word or Excel, whatever you use the most often, starts more slowly or more, with this disabled. Like, what's the performance hit here? Or the not performance hit, the resource hit on this? Like, what's it doing? Like, what's it using up?
They should have called it Performance Suppository. Would have been a better name for this.
Right.
Because it's coming and you can't.
It's definitely an injection of some kind.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very strange.
It would make sense if they were launching some like new low-end hardware or something but like PCs aren't getting slower.
This is probably where this came out of. I bet this began with the netbook era. Like they needed. I bet it did. Like like, was there an Office Starter Edition back then or something? There probably was. Maybe. Right? I don't remember, but
yeah. So, anyways, that's coming. I mean,
it's like, anyway, there's your diagnosis. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, well, death is like 3 months away. So, anyways, you need your flu shot? Like,
yep.
I don't know. I read that and I was like, you gotta be.
There are all these utilities for changing things in Windows, whatever. And the thing I would like to do, and I'm so hung up on this stupid notepad thing I'm working on, but like, I want to create something that you would run at startup, and it has your kind of last configuration, and it goes and tests all those settings, to make sure they haven't changed, right? And this is the type of thing. So like this is a good example of something like you'd want to test. Just one quick thing at startup, like is everything the same? If it was, you're good, you know? And someday either someone else will do this or I'll get to it. But like I'm super interested in this because I feel like Windows does this. If you
Hmm.
install, it could even just be a cumulative update, but let's say like an annual feature update will, reset certain settings, right? It might be something overt like, oh, look, the Copilot icon's back on the taskbar, which actually doesn't happen to my knowledge, but, or it could be something behind the scenes, like what you're talking about. Like what is all this crap running? I don't want stuff running. I don't understand how auto start isn't like a protected folder. It's like, "Bam, something's trying to add itself." Do you want to do this? No. Like the answer is going to be no almost every time.
But you don't get a choice, so good luck.
Yep. This is like, well, it's not really a big, well, maybe it is. I don't know. This is almost like a CrowdStrike type thing. Like it's one of those things like you find out about and you're like, wait, this is still happening in Windows? Like how did they not fix this a million years ago? But I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I guess they didn't. That's all I know.
I guess there's something else. Oh, there's bringing a whole bunch of Copilot searchy features to Copilot Plus PCs. Although I now have a Copilot Plus PC, but apparently it's not cool enough to be the super cool Copilot Plus PC because it's not the Qualcomm version. So I don't know when I get the AI search stuff.
Oh, I just wrote a very lengthy article about this, Brad. I can tell you exactly when you're going to get it if you want. I just have to look it up because I don't remember off the top of my head. But
Are you using the new roadmap site? Because I'm very excited about how they are not going to keep this updated.
all right, so 2 days before that appeared, I wrote a 6,000 word article looking at Windows 11 where I thought it was going. And in the course of writing this, it occurred to me to do something horrible. It was it took hours,
Sure.
which was go back to right before 24H2 came out for x64, document, and I only looked at the dev channel, not the other channels in the Insider program, and not the standalone apps, which were also many updated. It is astonishing how many features they added to Windows 11 in this time frame. And I listed all the, the main ones, and not the fixes, not the little things.
Yeah.
The date at which they were first tested just in dev, which was already complicated and it took me hours. And then the date at which they were released. And there is a feature that they have been testing in dev since September that still is not unstable. There's one feature from that time frame, but as you move forward in time, a lot of the features that are not yet enabled in stable are these Copilot Plus PC features, right? So let me see if I can find the one that you are asking about, because what did you just ask about? Or did you ask about a specific feature?
I asked about Groove Music Maker.
Oh yeah. That one still not available.
Oh, okay.
No. So the big stuff obviously is Recall and Click to Do. Oh, and you asked about search.
Oh, search. That's what
Search.
it was.
Sorry.
See how short-sighted our brain. We are literal goldfish.
Exactly. We're like, oh, laser pointer.
Just bumping into the glass over and over.
Yep. So let me find the first. All right. So search, yeah, Snapdragon X powered first. It was January 31st. And then it rolled out over time because there are different file types, cloud versus local. This will eventually be extensible. So third-party cloud storage will be included at some point. Documents, photos, there's different little, AI sparkle and animation, right?
Oh, joy.
I know. So now they're calling it like semantic search, I guess is the name. And where is it? I can't find it. Anyway, what I found consistently, so 100%. In fact, this is the only thing in the Insider program that has been consistent, is that these features always come to Snapdragon X first in testing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me just look at this real quick, because why is this not? Anyway, I wrote this huge thing. And then 2 days later, they posted a roadmap. It was exactly, I didn't call it roadmap, but
Yeah.
that's what I had published. And the one that they published is horrible. And yeah, so it turns out in stable in April, Patch Tuesday, Qualcomm powered Copilot PCs will get the feature you're asking about. So based on how the schedule's gone in pre-release, I'm going to guess it will be going to x64 like in May. I have to guess because they haven't said.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which amuses me because I do have such a computer. No, I mean, this is one of the, I just did 3 recordings for Hands on Windows, and I have to keep redoing these. I don't redo them, but I mean, they're new episodes, but they're like, oh, wait, here's some more new features in
Yeah.
Windows 11, or here's some new AI features, or here's some features that are specific to Copilot Plus PCs, right? So, one of the weirdisms of this stuff is the CFR thing. So, on this computer, I have a weird mix of features. Like one thing I saw for 10 seconds was I opened the start menu and it had that phone bar thing on the side.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, I finally got this. I'd never seen it before in real life. I've never seen it since. Like it's just disappeared. I have no idea where it went, but it was there. I took a picture of it. I have a screenshot of it.
Was it blurry and in the woods, like snow
No,
covered?
it's crisp and clear and
Was he
beautiful.
walking
And
like this?
yeah, no. But the semantic search stuff, I've been looking for it. I want to try this. So this thing's heading out to stable in oh no, right now it's in release preview. I think it's in release preview. And it's in the no, it's in the preview update. It went out in the weekly update.
We're just documenting your slow decline into.
No, the insanity of it, or the thing that makes it look like brain fog, is that it is impossible to remember. Which is I wrote that article. Like when things happen, and then depending on your computer, you may or may not have this stuff. So it's like CFR anyway. So like the fact that it happened on some date doesn't matter. I can't. So I'm actually not seeing this feature. So when I search, no matter where I do it from, because there are like 3 entry points, I just get like file-based search. So if I search for like a sweater or something, it's not going to go find photos of sweaters. It's going to find documents of any kind that are files that have the word sweater in them. So I can't even tell you what this feature looks like other than from screenshots, right? If I didn't make any sense there, I just want people to understand that it's mostly Microsoft's fault.
I just imagine some poor consumer taking their laptop to Microsoft and be like, hey, when am I going to get this feature? And they just go, all right.
So Leo, so this just came up on Windows Weekly. He said something like, well, because I talked about this obviously at length, this whole thing, and I had the roadmap had not occurred yet, right? So he said, well, does it really matter if people have inconsistent sets of features across different computers? Like, and I'm like, are you kidding me? He was being rhetorical, but I'm like,
remember when Android fragmentation was a big thing?
Yeah, no,
Windows is like, we can top that.
Yeah, it's like, what's worse than having 3 supported versions of Windows out in the field? Oh, I don't know. Having an uncountable matrix of possible features that could be there.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Office used to change the UI subtly in every release, so someone could just look at it and say, okay, we're on this version, and know from there where to go. And now Microsoft, it's like throw spaghetti on the wall and there's your version of Windows.
I would be willing to bet. So upstairs is, it doesn't matter, take any PC. Mm-hmm. I bet you could pick any feature that has been announced and is available in some capacity. Mm-hmm. And you could say with certainty, I have absolutely no idea when that feature will land on your PC.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at. And this is I'm going to call it 2 years of me coping with how they update Windows. I read a book. Like, so I have this, it's 1,100 pages long, the Windows 11 field guide, right? I want to be able to say something like, click here and you will see this, then do this. I have to write things like, click here. What you may see is blah, blah, blah. If you don't see that, then you may see this. And if you see this, do this. Like, this is why this book could be 200 pages. No, that's an exaggeration. But I mean, I have to, this is why, I don't remember when these things happen. I guess it was last year. It feels like a million years ago. But at some point I had to be like, look, I can't keep tracking all the changes to how the taskbar looks. I just can't do it. Like, it just changes so much. So I'm like, I'm going to adopt just the shots I take for the book will always look like this, because you're going to see something a little different.
And then on the other side, which they're not perfect, Apple will have WWDC, whatever, June 9th or something like that. And there they will say, hey, this update will ship in October or September. And guess what? All devices that are supported will get it on the same day within a few hours of each other.
They're not doing CFRs, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, they're not just doing like, you'll get it when you get it. Good luck.
So
Hang on.
when they didn't call it this, but when Microsoft it still does, but when they started doing what I would call A/B testing in the Insider
Yep.
program, people were outraged, right? They were like, hold on a second. I showed up I enrolled a computer in this thing to test this thing. And now you're telling me that I may or may not get it? What do you mean? Like, why are you doing that? Right. And so that was bad. To me, I always felt like you should have given those people, and I still feel this, like, I want all the features right now. No CFRs. Like, I'm testing it. You're not testing a deployment process. You're testing these features, right? They added the ability to get pre-release builds of Windows in Windows and stable to Windows Update, right? But now they also do the CFR thing, which is A/B testing. Like, they're not testing it; they're just rolling it out, not to some logical. This computer is known good, so it will run this thing fine, like they do with some things. Just randomly, it's literally random, and I no. Just no. Why? What's are we saving bandwidth here? What are we doing?
Yeah.
You wake up randomly and there's like something's different. No, I'm serious. Like, that's what
No,
it does. Do you think that delights people? Like, they like a little surprise. Like, I want to pay thousands of dollars to go on some vacation, and the day of the vacation you'll tell me where we're going. No. I I want to know in advance what it is, and I want to get it on the schedule that you say it's going to happen on.
So based on all the things we've talked about today, Satya Nadella said people are currently needing Windows. We hope to make them wanting to choose Windows, or we're wanting Windows and then choosing. I don't know. He said something dumb like that.
He wants people to love Windows as well.
Yeah, love Windows. Is that the last thing? I don't think we're there, and I don't know if we've moved the needle at all.
The things that I love don't spam me with advertising. They don't secretly stalk me around the internet and then sell that data to advertisers. The things that I love do not randomly surprise me with things I don't want unpredictably. You know, like what is the concept of love different for different people?
Well, it's a little more artificial these days, I think you could probably argue.
Yes. I mean, yes.